Hello, hello, ladies. What broke? Hi, ladies. All right. Maybe we should get to it instead of having so much fun over here. Today, I am so excited to present to you my man right here. We were talking the other day about how Julian, I'm always talking about how much growth and impact the business has made on me. And of course, in my time with Julian and my ability to be a better mom. But here's the secret sauce or the secret weapon to my business has been my relationship with my husband. And actually, believe it or not, my business got started at a time when we were having such a difficulty after being married for like 3 years. Was it? Yeah, like we got married. We got married at the end of 2011. And whenever we had Julian, we had just had a miscarriage. We were so excited to be parents, but we were so stressed out about money, trying to figure the two of us out, and just trying to understand like what was the next thing that we needed to do. In that process, we had to go to counseling. We went to marriage counseling, and it came out at the time that I'm going to get like the short story. I had been holding myself back because Ricky, it's naturally more of the introvert, more of the shy, the one that wants to make an impact in the people around him. And here is me, an extrovert wanting to make high achieving, wanting to make an impact in the world. And I felt that meant like overshadowing you or that I was going to leave you behind. So I didn't even dare to go. So I was holding myself back. We went to counseling. The counselor challenged me to actually go for the life that I truly wanted. And this has not only changed the business, it has not only, or given me the opportunity to have the business, it has changed our lives. And I want to share this with you because maybe you are thinking that you don't know how your men fit into you having this business. Yes, you want him to have more freedom. Yes, you eventually want to retire him, but you're wondering like, what about now? And I want to tell you that his breakthrough is connected to you getting your breakthrough and you expanding into who you're here to be. And for a lot of you, that means expanding in your business. So what are some of the things that you can think of that have happened since I started my business? Like some of the cool add-ons that you've got.
Definitely like having more of a understanding of what it looks like to be a more like entrepreneur type of family. I had to like sort of jump on board with reading different books and like trying to discover more of like what that actually can look like and how it can affect us positively. And so like reading different books, like one by John Maxwell particularly, where he shares about how like being an entrepreneur has like a spirit to it, and that it's like something that you don't just like get out of the blue. It's like it's either in you or it's sort of not. And so I think like engaging with that opportunity and like really discovering like you and that part of you, I think was the beginning for me of like what it can look like to grow in this phase of our life and in this new series, session, however you want to say it.
So from that time in the counseling, some of the things that happened, we bought our first house. We started paying debt. Ricky changed careers. You got a promotion.
I did.
Like all this coolness, and you have even said like how you've grown into be more of the man you're here to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think like before, like pre now versus today, like I had a lot of struggles with not necessarily confidence, but more just like what it means to be confidently like who I am within the sphere of our home and our family. And so I think like,
especially having a high achieving.
Yeah. Like being married to Pachi, as everyone knows on the internet that's watching and that has watched her videos and been connected to her groups and is now part of her clientele, you know how passionate and how driven and how strong she is. And for me, it was like, well, I need to like really begin to hone in on what my strength is and what my things that I can add are to us and to myself.
And I love that.
And so like I started like, you know, listening to some of the audios that you like and listening to some of the preaching and stuff that are more like about positive mindset and about positive change. So I think that was like the strongest area that I experienced growth in as far as like personally and internally.
Yeah. I feel that, and this is one of the things that I wanted you to keep in mind, is that in reality, your man, it's going to have to adjust as you're adjusting, but how you daring to bring him along in the journey, or you daring to say, baby, this is really what I want. Like, I really want to grow this business. I really want to be able to make this impact. I really want to be able to like serve these people. I feel that this is what I'm here to do. I feel that was part of what I brought to you. And yeah, and talking about like, so Ricky was of course freaking out whenever I was talking about like making all this money or investing all this money to be able to pay debt. Or like, I'm going to sign up for this $13,000 program that it's a year long and I'm going to make so much money out of it. Like, it was just like, why don't we just save the money instead of going into it? Like, there are all these questions and all these things that your man is going to have to go through as he's trying to figure out what his role, right, in these changes that you're making. But how does that affect him? How can he create his own impact? And a lot of that, I feel that there are different stages. Like, there's the beginning stage whenever he's like, what the heck is she doing? Let me see if she's going to stick with it. I have heard husbands say to like some of my clients, I was watching to see if you would stick with it long enough or if this was just one of those things you had done before. How crazy is that? And after that, he jumped on board and was more supportive of her. But just thinking, if you're just starting out, maybe just sharing with your husband, this is what I like, even if at the beginning he's not fully on board. It's just like we're always talking about our clients. Consistency can really make the difference. And then if you are already, have a business and now you're looking at how can we blow this thing up? I feel how you and I are truly partners in crime, organizing schedule and like making sure that Ricky has jewels whenever I am the one doing coaching or organizing whatever it is that we're doing to make it work. What are some of the things that you have really liked that we've done? Thank you to the business, like some of the trips or some of the cool stuff because of the money that the business is bringing in.
Yeah. So I think like last year when we were able to travel up north, and you were invited to share at that church, I think that was probably like the most like blessed I've seen us become because of like our investment and your investment into what your passion is, into what our passion is as well. Being able to go up to Boston and seeing the city, spending time with close friends and family was really good.
That's the trip when I was invited as a conference speaker and I was the guest for the conference. And from then, part of the things that happened was that we were able to celebrate Julian's birthday up in Boston. We were able to meet friends and just travel. So we were able to meet like family and traveling.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
And then also like we've been able to like, you know, take a lot of trips into the city of Atlanta to like, you know, go to the Georgia Aquarium or to like go to like the theme parks and stuff, which has been a huge blessing for us. And just being able to like share in like family fun, you know, taking short vacations and stuff like that has been a huge benefit.
We were calculating that, I didn't want to exaggerate, but over the last 6 months, we have gone on a family vacation every month at least one time. Of course, during Christmas and during Thanksgiving, like November when we went to Boston, we traveled more than once. That's been pretty fun. I feel that I want to leave you with this because I don't want to make it too long. It's just, and then I'm going to have Ricky tell you something, whatever like your last words are.
Yeah.
But I just want you to feel empowered. Like, what if you were meant to do this? What if you were the one meant to go for it? And you yourself, you're going to be able to have a video with your own man where you're encouraging your people, where you're actually showing and sharing how, of course, we've enjoyed the money that the business is making, and the freedom, and the paying all the debt, and the paying all this different stuff, and having more support around the house or do the projects and the things we want to do. But it's been a growth that I don't think that we would have been able to grow this fast if it wasn't because we took the leap. Babe, what would you say to any of the women that are like, I don't know if my husband's going to ever jump on board, or I don't know if I should keep going? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are some of your last words that you could share?
Of course. So, this may not be a predictive answer, but the first thing I would suggest is to pray. And to like talk to Jesus and begin to pray for your husband and begin to ask God to like really not necessarily like change him the way you want him to change, but just that you pray that he becomes who God has made him to be and who God has made him to be inside of the unit that you are. Because that's going to be like key in him becoming supportive, becoming more connected to opportunities of growth, opportunities of chance, opportunities of faith. More than likely the ladies watching are extroverts, and so like are really like passionate about getting their word out. And it's possible that the husband is more like me, an introvert, where they're like shy or, more reserved. And so like, I would say don't be afraid of that, but just be more connected to who they are, because they need to know that you want them on your side, and then vice versa. The husband also wants to know that you're on their side and that you support them and their goals and their dreams and their passions. And so like, that's probably the two main things I would say is like, pray for them and like show them support, because it's going to just have the same effect on you. Because like, I think that was one of the main things that changed within me is like, instead of me trying to like push my ideas or like push what I think Pachi should do, when it comes to like the business and the growth and like everything else, is like, I just began to pray for her. I just began to say, God, like pour into Pachi what it is you have for her, it is that you have for her to do. And I think like, you're going to be better off because you're not so focused on what didn't happen and what's not working. It's more about, okay, God, I see you at work. I see you doing great things in our life. I see you doing amazing things for the people that I want to impact. And having like a solid connection and unit with your husband and your significant other is so key, because for me and Pachi, like I've seen myself grow to an extent that I didn't think was possible without God using her to challenge me in different ways. So blessings to everybody.
Awesome. And one thing that I would tell you, ladies, is how telling your husband what you need from him also helps, because you sometimes would ask me like, what do you need from me?
Yeah, exactly.
So I would be like, I don't need you to like destroy my ideas, like, or whatever it is, but sometimes just to be a soundboard, or just to support me if I'm having a bad day. Like your husband is the one who sees you the most whenever the money's coming in and when the money's not.
Yeah, they're the one who knows who you are on the real level.
Right. So don't leave your man behind, and look for the ways that your man can be involved. Now I have a team, so I don't need Ricky doing this so much. But remember, like last year, you were doing a lot of like my editing and like checking through the email to make sure that it was correct before it went out, checking through the materials. But thinking about living the life of your dream and creating the business of your dream, and how that includes your people. Make sure that you're allowing that business to support you, your family, your loved ones into who you're here to be as as a unit, like Ricky was saying,
Yeah.
rather than looking at he's not on board or I don't know how else he can fit. Figure it out. And the thing that I feel that helped us the most, and I want to leave you with this, it's figuring out what works for you and for me, and actually creating the marriage that works for Ricky and for me, rather than continuing to put on like all this pressure on ourselves of what we thought people wanted it to be. Would you say?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. So we're going to cut it there. How about you dance with us? Maybe I can get it to play. We're just being silly. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. I want to leave you with one call to action. Talk to your man. Just say thank you for supporting me as much as you've supported me to now. Or just take him on a date and say, babe, I feel I'm growing. I feel I want to make a bigger impact. I know we were talking around sushi whenever I was talking about what we were talking about. But just making it a special when you come and you say, this is what I want and I just want your support. Can you help me with that? And then even if he's not ready, continue to pray, continue to trust, and continue to do your thing and to expand, because that's going to challenge him into becoming the man that you need and the man that he's here to be. So, bye. Good to have you, ladies. Bye.